Hey everyone, it's Rustic back again with a new video for 2013. Sorry. Yeah, this is my first video of the new year. Happy New Year to everyone. I haven't done a video in a little while. Just before New Year's is when I did my last video. Just wrapping up with the holiday season, getting back into school, and actually I wanted to wait on some information about the year 2012 in terms of record warmth. And so I can share it with you, and that's the video for today, and it's actually very interesting, the information I have with you. As you know, last year was extremely hot just all year round, and in fact, it actually ended up being the warmest year on record for the continental United States. With that, it was consisting of a record warm spring, second warmest summer, and the fourth warmest winter. On average. Now, 2012 averaged a temperature for the whole entire year of 55.3 degrees Fahrenheit. And that's actually 3.2 degrees above the 20th century average, so from 1900 to 2000, and 1 degree above the 1998 record warmest year. That was the previous record. 98 was the warmest year on record until 2012 surpassed that last year by a whole 1 degree, 0 degree Fahrenheit and everything. So that's actually a big difference in stuff. When it's by like a few tenths or hundredths of degrees, it's like, it's close, but when it's a full degree warmer than the previous record, it actually is saying something. And again, I mentioned this earlier. It was just so hot last year, and we were like dying, pretty much, just baking. So I have some things to just share with you. I have some stuff on my computer that I just want to share with you on 2012. First of all, it started off a lot warmer than average with the fourth warmest winter, like I said, and that's December 2011 to February 2012, and that was on record. With the winter warmth, it also limited any of the snow locations that experienced any snow. It just limited having snow being stuck around for a while, so obviously it melted very quickly. And actually, the country was in a snow drought last year, and the U.S. experienced the third smallest snow cover on record. Just snowpack, pretty much, for the whole entire country. And that was mainly across the central and southern Rockies, and then over into the Midwest, where we pretty much did not see any snow, which was bad for farmers coming into the spring and summer months, obviously, because it dried out very quickly, and we experienced that big drought. So that was pretty much the winter. Now, spring started off exceptionally warm with the warmest March on record, followed by the fourth warmest April and the second warmest May. Because of the very rapid warm-up that happened during like February, March and everything, we had a very early severe season, if a lot of you can remember. Most of our severe weather happened between February and March. It usually happens later, like April, May, when we have more of the spring-type temperatures coming up from the Gulf and everything. But last year it happened a lot sooner, and we had a much earlier severe weather outbreak. That's why it was very quiet going into the latter part of the spring. But because of that, actually, oh my gosh, where was it? Just reading it. Because of the very warm spring, it also resulted in a very early start to the growing season in many places, which unfortunately increased the loss of water from the soil earlier than what is typical. So with the combination of the lack of winter snow that we had and the dryness from 2011, from the previous year, the record warm spring laid the foundation for the widespread drought conditions, pretty much that spanned a whole large area of the country last year. So that's what happened. Just lack of snow, lack of just moisture in the soil resulted in one of the worst droughts since the Dust Bowl era last year, unfortunately. So that's pretty much the stuff that happened for spring. Now summer was above average. It wasn't record breaking. July was actually the hottest month on record in the United States ever, actually. The average temperature for the month of July for the whole U.S. was 76.9 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 3.6 degrees above average. So it pretty much marked July being the hottest month on record ever in the United States, which is something and stuff. Now going into August and then going into September, things cooled off slightly, but we still recorded summer 2012 being the second hottest summer on record. Not the first, but the second hottest summer. And actually, this is actually surprising when I found this out. An estimated 99.1 million people experienced 10 or more days of summer temperatures greater than 100 degrees, which is pretty much like a third of the country's population. That's a lot of people. So obviously, the majority of you were like sweltering in above 100 degrees for like 10 days or so. That's saying something. That's very, very unusual. So the winter, spring, and summer were very, very hot. And then coming into the autumn, more kind of into the winter season, the temperatures were slightly warmer than average, but it wasn't the same magnitude as we saw in the spring and summer months. In fact, September through December, temperatures were slightly cooler than what you'd expect to see in a fall kind of setting, but because of the previous 8 months, due to the great intensity of the heat and everything and just the warmth, we were still warm enough to stay on track for 2012 being the hottest year on record, which we ended up blowing that away out of the water by a full degree margin of the 98 previous record year. So that's just some statistics, just information that happened during 2012. 2012 also was the second most extreme year on record. When I mean that, billion-dollar disasters. That last year we had 11 $1 billion or more disasters. The previous year, 2011, had 12 disasters that reached $1 billion in damage or more. So last year, 2012, was the second most extreme year on record. And then, obviously, to add on top of that, we had the drought. So we had the hottest year on record, one of the most intense droughts we've had on record, and the second most extreme, just weather extreme year on record. So 2012 was a very, very, very active year in everything. This year, however, 2013, I did look at the Farmer's Almanac actually last week, and a much quieter year is setting up this year. And also, I think we're going to have a lot more snow coming into the picture and a lot more cold coming into the picture. I know that the first couple weeks of January have been kind of warm, and today's kind of warm as well. Today's the 13th of January, and I know the East Coast and the southern tier of the country is baking in spring type temperatures. However, during early next week and going into the latter part of January, we are going to have an Arctic outbreak, several of them actually coming down into the upper Midwest and going into the Great Lakes. So on the map back there, we're just going to have cold air surge from, again, Lake Minnesota over into the Great Lakes and then down into the Appalachians, coming into beginning next week and everything. So if you enjoyed the nice temperatures this past week, those are gone pretty much. So Minneapolis, Chicago, St. Paul, Green Bay, Duluth, going over into Chicago, I mean, not Chicago, but Detroit and everything, you'll see temperatures back down into the 20s and teens and single digits and even negative numbers going in for overnight temperatures coming up in the next week or so. So just want to give you a heads up on there that winter is actually going to be here this year, unlike last year. So you can look forward to some nice cold temperatures coming into our picture for the latter part of January this month. That's pretty much it for my video today. Just wanted to let you know that 2012 was the warmest year on record and give you some just facts about it and everything. And then I also wanted to just let you know about our cold temperatures coming into the picture for the rest of the month of January. So that spring-like temperature, say bye-bye, because it's not going to be around for very much longer. Alright, I'll be back with another video, and hopefully, I don't know when, but when I do, I will see you then, and remember to keep your eye to the sky and stay warm outside. Bye.